What is up, everyone? My name is Jax Apple, back again on a live stream, and I'm here today with my predictions for WWE's Money in the Bank 2018 pay-per-view, and of course NXT's TakeOver Chicago, which will take place the night before, which is tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. This week is a very exciting week for mainly the WWE and for wrestling. We've got, of course, the two events that I just mentioned and the United Kingdom tournament, championship tournament that will be taking place at the Royal Albert Hall over 2 nights. And I think there'll be like a tournament, and the winner will get to face Pete Dunne for the United Kingdom Championship. So that should be really cool to see. Nice to see that WWE are finally starting to do something with the UK division. It seems like they're going to finally make a UK show, and they're going to get I think they got a UK guy as the general manager. So yeah, it's going to be really awesome to see the UK division finally take off after a year and a half of waiting for if we're going to see anything out of it. And now that we're going to finally see out of it, it's really awesome. So I'm going to start off with NXT TakeOver Chicago because I'm pretty excited for this show. I reckon this is going to be a great event. If all the NXT takeovers have showed us anything, it's just when you think that NXT is going to put on the show where you go, this might not be it. They always pull through and they always put on a fantastic performance, especially at the last takeover event, which was like one of the best wrestling shows I'll ever see. Will it be as good as that? I'm not sure, because that is one of those shows where it's like it might be almost impossible to reach how good that show is, but they can damn sure try. But I have a good feeling that this is going to be a really, really damn good show. So we'll talk about Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream in one-on-one action. I'm looking forward to this match quite a bit. The build-up has been really nice. My favorite bit of the whole build-up was when Ricochet did the flip over the ring ropes and stood up on his feet and landed on his feet. That's what I was meant to say. And this whole feud has been basically Velveteen Dream saying, anything you can do, the Velveteen Dream can do better. So, yeah, it's been a nice feud between the two. Obviously, big clash of styles. Ricochet is very flashy and with his flips and all that stuff, or Velveteen Dream is flashy with just his character in general. So I feel like these two will put on a very entertaining match, and definitely a lot of story. Be a more story-driven match than just a bunch of high spots all over the place. Although I do think we're going to see some crazy high spots in this match, mostly from Ricochet. So, who do I think will win? I reckon Ricochet is going to get the win on this one. Velveteen Dream can lose matches but still look strong because that's how good his character is. And as for Ricochet, he's been winning me over, but when it comes to just great characters in general, Velveteen Dream is obviously, in my opinion, much better than Ricochet. But in ring wise, just by wowing people for what they can do in the ring, Ricochet is the better man, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to use that to his advantage and win the match. So we've got an NXT Tag Team title match, the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, defending against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Undisputed Era will be retaining. I haven't really seen that much build up for this feud. I don't remember much of it personally. I have seen a bit of Oney Lorcan, but not too much. So hopefully this could be a match that can showcase him very well, along with Danny Burch, who I did see him in the UK Championship tournament, and he was very good in that last year. But I just don't see them winning. They seem like a big underdog team going into this, and if they do win, they'll be a massive shock. But I think that's going to be highly unlikely, especially now that the Undisputed Era have just been on a roll as of late. So yeah, I'm going to go with Undisputed Era to retain the tag team titles. So we also have Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross for the NXT Women's Championship. This one I feel like is going to be very vicious, especially with who Shayna Baszler is going in the ring with, Nikki Cross. She's not like someone like Dakota Kai who's just scared to even go like 2 feet from Shayna Baszler, because anytime Dakota Kai like stands next to Shayna Baszler, even, she just freezes up and gets scared because she just gets bad memories of when she just basically snapped her arm and is kind of traumatized from that. But here's the thing about Nikki Cross: she loves pain, she loves agony, she loves taking it, but especially dishing it out. So it doesn't matter to Nikki Cross. She can hit her with everything under the sun, and I feel like Nikki will just go even crazier because she just loves that. She's wacko. That's what she enjoys the most. She just loves pain. But I still feel like Shayna Baszler is going to retain the NXT Women's Championship. I feel like as much as Nikki Cross can take a lot of pain, I don't think it will be enough for her to win the NXT Women's Championship. I could be wrong, and Nikki could hit us with a surprise win, which, if that's what we see, fine by me. I think Nikki Cross can be a great NXT Women's Champion. She's got such a great character to her, even though that now that she's distanced herself from Sanity, I feel like she can do very well as a singles competitor. But as of right now, I'm going to say that Shayna Baszler will retain the NXT Women's Championship. Then we get to a Chicago street fight between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Just when you think these two have, settled it down after their match at TakeOver New Orleans, nah, it just keeps going. Tommaso Ciampa is just as vile and just as evil as he was in the first match. And Johnny Gargano, I feel, is just going to keep pushing through no matter what obstacles that Tommaso Ciampa puts in his way. And like, especially on an episode of NXT where Ciampa and Gargano just beat the shit out, or just more like Gargano just going after Ciampa, busting him open and all that stuff. So, yeah, if that's just what we're going to see in a segment, just imagine what they're going to do in a street fight. I feel like if WWE can allow it, if Triple H is able to convince the Vince and everyone else in the board of directors and all that stuff, they can get away with blood. Because if there's one match that needs blood, oh my God, it's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. This feud has been the most built-up feud NXT has ever seen. This started at TakeOver Chicago last year when Ciampa turned on Gargano after their ladder match against the Authors of Pain. So this is just going to come full circle with this being their last match. So together, anyway. So I can see Ciampa winning by doing something really, really fucked up. But then again, if Gargano can beat Ciampa the first time, I feel like he'll find a way to push through and win this second time. So yeah, this is going to be a fantastic match. I reckon this is going to top their New Orleans match. I'm hoping so anyway. But yeah, I feel like they can do it. It's gonna be crazy. And then we get to the match I think is going to be the main event for the NXT Championship: Aleister Black versus Lars Sullivan, the monster of NXT, who has just been for the last year just running through people, just beating everyone that there is to beat. And now he's finally at his biggest challenge yet against Aleister Black, the NXT champion. And Aleister Black, he's not good. It's not like he's going to put in a half-assed effort. He's not going down without a fight. I feel like these two are going to really bring it to each other, and Aleister Black is going to do whatever it takes just to knock down the monster. But I feel like it's not going to be enough, and I'm predicting that Lars Sullivan is going to win the NXT championship. And it's only who's going to be able to dethrone him as NXT champion. We don't know. Or this could be Aleister Black being the first person that beats Lars Sullivan, and that just tips him over the edge. They have a rematch, and that's where Lars actually wins the NXT championship. I'm just thinking of ideas that they can go with, but yeah, there's many different options that they can go. But I feel like the way I can see things going with just how dominant Lars Sullivan has been the last 12 months or ever since he's debuted, he's just a scary individual. You just look at him and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with this guy. Like if he slapped your girlfriend's ass in the club, you're not going to fight back against him. You're just going to go, yeah, well, you could take her. I don't want to deal with you, mate. So, yeah, I predict Lars Sullivan is going to win the NXT championship. So that's all for NXT TakeOver Chicago. And then we're going to get to Money in the Bank 2018. Quality-wise, I reckon, obviously, it's not going to be as good as NXT TakeOver, I think. But I do believe that the Money in the Bank matches will be really damn good. And the WWE title match will be pretty excellent if they really give AJ and Nakamura the proper time. But I'll get to that when we get to that match. So on the pre-show, we have the SmackDown Tag Team titles being defended. The Bludgeon Brothers defending against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. Bludgeon Brothers are going to retain. As much as I love Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I'm happy that they're getting a shot at the tag team titles again. Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers, I mean, they're not losing it anytime soon, unless it is a really, really good team that's either gets brought up, like Sanity, for example, if they get called up. I feel like they could be the perfect team to beat the Bludgeon Brothers. But for right now, I don't think Gallows and Anderson are going to be the ones that beat the Bludgeon Brothers, especially on a pre-show of all places. But yeah, I'm going to say Bludgeon Brothers will retain their SmackDown Tag Team title. So as we get into the main card, from this point going forward, all WWE pay-per-views will be 4 hours long. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, we're still going to watch it anyway because we're nuts. We are all crazy. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a little bit crazy. Or is it? I don't know. Look at me. I'm going fucking crazy right now. We'll talk about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match first. We have Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Lana, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. I reckon this is going to be a great match. I'm really hoping that these 8 women just do some nuts shit in this match. And with the talent that's involved with it, I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a really solid women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's going to be very entertaining. But here's the big question. Who is going to win? I don't think it'll be Ember Moon because it'll be a bit too early for her. Like, I don't think she's ready for now to hold the Money in the Bank briefcase. I could be wrong, but I feel like her character hasn't been that good as of late. And I feel like it needs to do a lot more in order for me to believe that, you know, yeah, fair enough, Ember Moon can win the Money in the Bank contract. Although if she does win, I'm not going to complain that much. Charlotte Flair, that's a good winner. I could see Alexa Bliss probably has a good chance in there. Becky Lynch, you know what? I've got my pick right there. I reckon Becky Lynch is going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match, and because personally I want her to win because I love Becky Lynch, and also for the last year and a half or so, ever since she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship, she hasn't exactly done something, you know, spectacular for her character, or she hasn't done anything that the Becky Lynch character has done anything that, you know, awesome or groundbreaking. And I feel like this could be the place for her to finally get back into the main Divas division, like the top of the Divas division again. Why did I say Divas? What the fuck? Women. It's women. It's 2 years since we've stopped calling them Divas, and I still call them that. But yeah, I reckon Becky Lynch needs to go back to the top of the SmackDown Women's Division, and I feel like this could be a perfect opportunity for her. So yeah, my prediction is that Becky Lynch will win the match. So let's talk about Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn, because I cannot be asked talking about this match. The feud has just been, it's been one of the worst feuds of 2018 so far. The segments they have been doing have just been straight up cringe, like the Sami Zayn bringing out his 3 sisters and making him do obstacle courses and all kinds of dumb shit. And Bobby Lashley just smiling through it all. You'd think he'd get sick and tired of it and just want to fucking kill Sami Zayn. But no, he's just like, oh, it's just a joke. I'm going to kick your ass at Money in the Bank. Just shut up. Just beat him. Which, there you go. That's my prediction. Bobby Lashley's going to beat Sami Zayn. There you go, I guess. So, yeah, that shows you how much I care about that feud. We'll talk about the Intercontinental Championship match. Seth Rollins defending the title against Elias. Because it's Seth Rollins, I think this match is going to be really damn good. It's going to be better than most people will anticipate, because the thing about Elias is, like, he's a great character. He's one of the most over things on Monday Night Raw so far. But if you compare to the in-ring skills of Elias to Seth Rollins, obviously Rollins is a much better in-ring competitor than Elias. But Elias is not bad. He's pretty damn decent inside the ring. And I feel like Rollins is going to bring out the best in him, which is great to see. But I'm kind of conflicted on who's going to win this, because Seth has been so great as Intercontinental Champion, and I feel like he can go on a long run with it and just really make it his own. But Elias, He's been super over, man, and an IC win would not hurt his character at all. So, you know what? I'm going to pick Elias for this one to win the Intercontinental Championship. And because of that, I would like to see Seth Rollins getting an eventual match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And hopefully he can beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship and just cement himself as one of the best of this current generation of wrestlers, which would just be fantastic to see. Although I think we might have a different person facing Brock at SummerSlam. Fuck's sake. But on the SmackDown side of things, we have Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. The feud has been it's been all right. I wouldn't say it's the best thing going on SmackDown at the moment, but it's fine. Big Cass has been doing pretty well in his heel role. You can tell he's really enjoying it. He's really enjoying just being a dick. And when you're really enjoying your role, whether it be babyface or a heel, then that just makes for great TV and just makes a great character. So, do I think Daniel Bryan can lose in this match? I think he can, but also as well, people want to see Daniel Bryan win. And Big Cass, while I still think he has the capabilities of being a main event talent, I feel like Daniel Bryan is way too popular at the moment for him to just lose to Big Cass. So I'm going to say Daniel Bryan beats him again. If so, make sure Big Cass moves on to something else because, yeah, we're not sick of it, but I feel like it's time for Big Cass to move up to something bigger and something that's beyond Daniel Bryan and facing someone else. Maybe face Jeff Hardy for the US title and give him a US title run. That'd be all right. What else do we have here? We have Carmella defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka. Gee, one who's going to win that match? Asuka. It's going to be Asuka. Just ignore my dog barking outside. She's an idiot. Um, but yeah, it's probably the easiest match to predict on this. I know Asuka lost one match against Charlotte Flair, but that was Charlotte Flair. This is Carmella. And I highly, highly doubt Carmella is going to beat someone like Asuka. Like, it's not believable if Carmella was to beat Asuka. I guess she could do it in some sort of I'm messing up my words here. Some sort of sneaky way out of a victory, or she could lose by disqualification. But I don't want to see that on a pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view match. And Asuka, she has been long in line for a shot of the women's title on the main roster. So I feel like this is going to be the match that I think Asuka is going to win. So yeah, I reckon Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, will be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Sorry, Carmella. What can we talk about next? We can talk about Jinder Mahal versus the big dog Roman Reigns. The only thing I'll have to say about this match is this better not main event. For fuck's sake, don't main event with Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. Like, everyone would leave the arena if that was the main event. Everyone would just be like, all right, we saw Ronda and Nia, we saw the two Money in the Bank ladder matches, now let's fuck off because it's the big dog. Because if they put that match on last, I guarantee you a good chunk of the audience is going to start leaving. Because it's like, who fucking cares about Roman and Jinder? Roman's going to win. But yeah, that's my prediction right there. Roman Reigns is going to win. Jinder Mahal's going to lose. Who fucking cares? Then we get to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Something I'm really looking forward to. So the participants are Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and one of the three members of the New Day, either Big E, Kofi Kingston, or Xavier Woods. I want to say Kofi Kingston because when you put Kofi in one of these matches, that's where my computer shut for a bit there. His character and just him as a wrestler, he really shines in matches like this. But I've been hearing like from what other people are thinking as well, and a lot of people are saying Big E. So I'm going to put my money on Big E. If they are going to break up the New Day at some point, I feel like Big E is going to be the one that's going to get the big push because, you know, he's got the big muscles. He's very athletic. He's a very charismatic character, and I feel like he would probably be the best place probably be the best person to put when it comes to being pushed out of everyone in the New Day. I think Kofi would probably still be in the mid-card division where he was before the New Day. And as for Xavier Woods, I think he can also get pushed pretty well. I reckon you could start him off in the mid-card division and then move him up to the main eventers. But yeah, if you're going to push one guy out of the New Day to the moon, it's probably going to be Big E. And I feel like he's going to be the one that's put in this match. So I think this match is going to be great, just like the Women's Championship match. I feel like the men's one is going to be full of some crazy spots, full of people falling off the ladders, and eventually we're going to get one person going through the ladder. So it's going to be a very exciting match to watch, in my opinion. But who do I think is going to win? There's a few people that I want to see win, and most of them are on the SmackDown brand. I don't see Bobby Roode winning because he hasn't been interesting me that much. Finn Balor, I guess he could win that. But the two guys I'd be the most happy with winning is Braun Strowman and The Miz. I'll talk about why I'd like to see Miz win first is because he was such a fantastic Intercontinental Champion and one of the best things on Raw last year. And now that he's on SmackDown, there could be a great storyline where Daniel Bryan could win the WWE Championship, but Miz can take away that moment from him, or and set up a big Daniel Bryan versus Miz feud, which I think is something we've been all waiting for a very long time, ever since that Talking Smack incident and just all the stuff that was going on SmackDown. Now that Daniel Bryan can wrestle again and Miz is now on SmackDown, they have to do this feud, surely. That is a missed opportunity if they don't do that feud. So, because of that, but then again, they could also just have a simple one-on-one match and people would be completely fine with it. So, I'm going to predict Braun Strowman will win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And just thinking about the things Braun Strowman could do in a ladder match just makes me so happy. Just the kind of crazy shit he's going to do. I wouldn't be shocked if he picks up 3 guys and slams them all on a ladder at once. Or they could do a spot where all 7 guys bury Braun Strowman in ladders, kind of like they did with Big Show a few years ago. But then Braun Strowman can pop up and all the ladders will fly everywhere and he just kills everyone and wins the match. And if that is the case, I don't want Braun Strowman to do the typical someone's laying on the ground, he runs in and cashes in. No, I think Braun Strowman is confident enough that even with a 100% ready opponent, he could still kick their ass. And I feel like that Braun Strowman would be perfect to win the match if he was. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if he wins the match, this is what I'm trying to say. If he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match and say SummerSlam rolls around, I know I said this about Seth Rollins, but they could probably do that at a later date. But with Braun Strowman, he's the one guy everyone wants to see become Universal Champion besides Seth Rollins, I guess. So Braun can be the one that finally conquers Brock Lesnar and can finally end his awful Universal title reign. And then we could see the Universal Championship on regular TV again, which will be such a blessing because we've just had Brock Lesnar sit on his ass most of the year doing fuck all, competing in 3 or 4 matches. And they're building up as, oh, he's the longest reigning champion of the modern era. He beat CM Punk's reign. Oh, good for him. He defended it 10 times. Punk defended it 141 times or something like that, including house shows. So yeah, good for you, Brock. Top champion there. But yeah, Braun Strowman, the monster among men, to crush everyone and win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then we get to the match that I have a feeling is going to be the main event. And it's for the Raw Women's Championship, Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. And if this match goes on last, there is only one person that can win it, and that's Ronda Rousey. Unless they do something where they're having the match, Ronda's just about to win, because we all know they're showing this whole Natalya and Ronda Rousey are best friends thing at the moment, and Natalya hurt her foot, and Ronda Rousey helped her to the back, but then Nia Jax also tried to help out, and Ronda's like, no, fuck off, she's my friend, and all that stuff. So I feel like Natalya will get involved in this some way. And if so, I feel like they're going to do the predictable thing, and she's going to cost Ronda Rousey the championship, turn heel for the 10,000th time, and help Nia Jax win the championship, and she's going to be friends with Nia. That could be a thing that happens, but what a waste for Ronda Rousey if they do that. I think the only good thing to do is to have Ronda Rousey beat Nia Jax to win the Raw Women's Championship. I'm not saying Nia Jax has been a terrible Raw Women's Champion. I'm happy that she won the championship, but because Ronda is in a Raw Women's title match this early, there's no way in hell WWE would let her lose. I would be very surprised if Ronda Rousey in a second match in from having a fantastic match at WrestleMania just to lose to Nia Jax at Money in the Bank, all this build up just to lose in her first Women's Championship match. It'd be very silly to me. So Nia Jax is going to lose this match, and Rowdy Ronda Rousey will be the new Raw Women's Champion. So that about wraps things up for my predictions here. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to leave a big fat like. Comment down below your predictions for both shows, and if you guys want to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at JackmanLove31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I am out in 3, 2, 1.